Speedway. Welcome to my first co-op video. This video is a little different in that I got an editor for it. That nice little edit was done by Curio's World on Reddit. Watching the race back, I really enjoyed the way he cut between camera shots. Reminded me of the F1 highlights. Anyway, back to it. We're racing in AlphaTauri Guan Yu Zhou, the kind of wonder rookie in real life F1. In here, I'm about to make quick work of him. I just need to catch up and dive somewhere. Are we going outside or inside? Coming up on the long corner here. I do lift a little bit just to get us in, and we dive on two cars. Nicholas Latifi and Guan Yu Zhou. Wasn't too bad of a move. A double overtake on the AI though. Oof. Well. He's not gonna be happy.
God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
Gasly, they're taking his revenge on me turning in on him. I'd say rightly so, but he probably lost a bit of wing that way. Lance Stroll passing me. I don't remember passing him. I must have passed him into T1. So, we're coming up at the end of our first lap. Even though we nearly took out and got taken out by Pierre Gasly. 2 position gain from the back. Still not gonna be too bad. I'll take that. And we're already eyeing up a move on Lance Stroll. Just absolutely obliterated Pierre Gasly and Lance Stroll with that move. Hopefully we can keep the positions as we eye a move on Nicholas Latifi. So this move right here becomes a staple later on in the video. A long corner dive. I'm gonna call it. Coining that right now. As we start catching Gasly. Look at that time differential fall. 1.3, 1.2. If we got DRS this lap, or no, we wouldn't be in the DRS, that's 1.1 seconds, but we still might be in for the move. Either turn 2 or turn 3, because look at that, closing up. We could see we took that corner a little too shallow. Looking for an opening. We're still... So, now having made the move on Latifi, we're gaining on Kevin Magnussen. Going for possibly the move around the outside, but just end up going way too far outside and losing time to Magnussen here. Long corner. I always appreciate a bit of a lunge here. Let's see, we don't really go for it, but we do close up on Magnussen as we get into the slow section of Interlagos. Here, we're looking for that classic lunge on the inside. It works kind of clean. We gave Magnussen space eventually. Here, we're looking for the lunge on Esteban Ocon. It isn't here yet. A little undercooked. We gotta let that thing marinate in the oven. So, looking at our teammate here, I'm pretty sure no, not on this lap. Lap 4. I'm pretty sure this lap here, at the end of it at least, he'll be coming into the pits. We're both on soft tires. The degradation is getting real, and he's playing on a controller, so his tires are definitely feeling it. Well, mine probably are too, because I've locked up quite a few times this race. Either way, we're right on Esteban Ocon. I'm looking for the move somewhere. It's gonna happen. Is it here? Are we gonna lunge on the inside? There it is. It's the lunge. The AI back out and allow me through. It's quite the deep lunge. We don't crash mostly because of myself, or not myself, the AI, which usually the aggressor is the one to keep the move safe, but hey, I'm just kind of sending it at this point. As the lowest placed Ferrari in the sprint, I'm pretty desperate. As you can see, my fellow Ferrari colleague falling down the order. I'm pretty sure this race was a soft to medium race. We both used the soft to try and cement our position at the beginning of the race, because even though we're racing lower leveled AIs, ooh, look at that multi-box, we, well, at least I have a hard time launching, and the AI still get me, and I really need that soft tire launch to just kind of jump me at least a couple of positions, so we don't have to completely rely on strategy. And the strategy here, well, won't spoil too much, but it becomes a little spicy as we gain to Sebastian Vettel, the 4-time world champion in real life, but in the game he's a level 41 AI, which in an Aston Martin isn't great. I'm actually pretty excited, filming this after the end of the season, to race him in the updated AI format. Here we are going in. We're looking for a move, maybe outside. Nope, not happening. Going for the move there has kind of compromised me mid-corner, giving me not too great of a launch, but we still get the run on Sebastian Vettel. Are we? Yes, we are. We're looking, and we've made the move around the outside. I'm pretty sure he's still alongside. Nope. Falling back 2/10 and further. We're now eyeing up a move on Valtteri Bottas. This will be interesting. Will I go for the dive? Nope. We're going to wait here. We're entering the slow section of Interlagos again. That could be a tongue twister. You have no idea how many times I've failed it. We're going for the dive. It's happening. I can feel it. Yes. That's it, and that was a relatively clean dive. We didn't force anyone too wide like the other times, and we took the apex. Nice. So here we are coming onto the straight. We slowed down a bit because we got a little close to Dan Ticktum. We didn't want to run into him. And how are things looking? We've probably got DRS at the moment. Will we dive? Nope. We're just going to make Ticktum, I don't know. We're trying to get him to jump. We're in 7 laps on the soft tires. It doesn't seem to be affecting me yet, but trust me, in the cockpit, or behind the wheel, if you will. It's more like behind the monitor. Panic is starting to set in as the car is starting to jump and skid. And I should definitely, as we take a little bit of grass and look around the outside. No, is it a switchback? Oh, it is. It is a switchback, but not a complete one. As we fall behind Dan Ticktum again, a lunge is being made. It was not the worst one. It's a pretty classic spot for the AI lunge, and we've done it up into 7th place. That is pretty sweet. Look at that. Camera angle. Very nice. Anyway, we're looking at the move on Lewis Hamilton. Dan Ticktum is in the pits. We've decided to stay out another lap on soft tires. It's a little bit hairy at this moment. Teammates already safe. Warm medium tires. And we're out there on the hot softs. All throughout practice, we noticed them overheating, and when tires overheat in this game, things become a little risky. But look at that. We are now up into 2nd place, having just held it on the softs. Everyone else is pitting. We're just behind Sergio Perez now, 7 seconds behind, so he's pretty safe, and are we going for the pit stop this time? Will we spare me the anxiety of spinning a car around after that much of a comeback? I'm not sure. I've made poor decisions before. We're going wide into the first turn. Are we gonna go into the pits? Yes, there it is. So, I'm pretty sure it's the mediums because hards would be completely pointless on this track after having gone already half the distance. There it is, medium tires. Not only that, but the hards in this game are kind of bad. Like, pretty bad at the beginning. So, completely and utterly want to avoid that. Exiting the pits in 8th position. Are we going to keep it? Let's see. Yep. Pretty clean exit. Not too many people around me. Lewis Hamilton, 1.2 seconds back. The medium's a little cold, or at least that's the excuse I'm going to use. Leading me to run a little wide. We're coming through here pretty slow. Just trying to work the mediums in. Juan Yuzhou is ahead, 1.8 seconds. We're coming up onto the straight. Can we lunge into the DRS position? Let's see, 1.3? Maybe, 1.4? Losing some time on the launch there. It came out recently that the cars have always been lighter in the game to give them an advantage over the player. Earlier on in the game's life, the cars used to be way too light, and in the campaign co-op modes or the campaign my team modes, they would develop much faster than the other car or your car, and you'd get absolutely wrecked. As we're about to absolutely wreck Juan Yuzhou, looking for the move around the outside. Were we breaking the 50? Just before the 50, keeping it. Oh, not really keeping it on the track, but the stewards don't mind, and we get to keep racing. Maybe, I don't know what's the justification for that. It's just a game, or we could say that I had already gained the position after or before leaving the track, so yeah, didn't actually gain a lasting advantage because I had already gained it. Big brain thinking refs. Anyway, we're coming up on Nicholas Latifi. Nicholas Latifi in 6th place, that's kind of wild. So, making the move on him. Things are going pretty well. We're up into 6th place. There are 10 laps in the race, and it kind of feels like maybe we could win this race. We're on medium tires. Everything seems to be going to plan. We're roughly, what? It looks like 10 seconds behind the leader. It's a lot of work to make up, but it's still possible. So, here we go into, I think this is T4. Keeping it on the track because we're not racing anyone. So we don't know it at this point. We do just hear a friend screaming in horror as him and a couple other AIs DNF. Turns out he was nuked. I think it was it was Sebastian Vettel had turned in on him, and Yuki Tsunoda was in the way. Well, in front. And they both went careening into him. He did a flip into the air, and his car was absolutely destroyed. Thankfully, for the halo and the fact that we're in a video game, he was saved. And thankfully, in my case, safety car. And you know what that means. Box for softs. Here we go. The real race is on. It's 6 laps to the very end. Can we make up, what is that, 12 positions? In 6 laps, it'll be an insane race, but guess what? I'm on the soft tires, and the AI are on half-used mediums. Things are gonna be kind of insane. I'm gonna be pushing the boundaries of the soft tire. The safety car is not in this lap, so we can catch up to them, and then cool it. And right before the safety car goes ahead, we'll just pounce. It's going to be pretty wild. Or at least that's what I'm hoping. Maybe it could be wild in a bad way. I just lunge in on someone and we spin out. Anyway, here it is. Caught the safety car queue. We're back in 12th place. Doing a little bit of tire warming. Don't need to worry too much about it. As mentioned earlier, safety car isn't in this lap. And we are gonna hang out until the rest of the field catches up. So now we have to try and make up all those places in 5 laps. Things are not looking great for the old medium to soft switch. It's already starting to look like maybe I'll just end up in the same position, but just with more work, as we have to pass at least 3 cars a lap now to make it to first place. Things are gonna be tough. We are trying to psych out the AI of Pierre Gasly. He's having none of it and gets a decent run on me. Or maybe I was using him to cool my brakes. World may never know. Just getting that sweet, sweet fresh air. Remember all the F1 cars overheating earlier on the season? It's interesting that just kind of stopped happening. Wait, well, it's not that interesting. I think the tracks that they went to were much cooler than the tracks at the beginning of the season. As I'm pretty sure at this point in the race, we get the message. Safety car in this lap. Get ready to race. We're trying to do a little bit of tire warming. You might have heard me doing a little burnout there. Trying to psych out Gasly again. Maybe make the turn alongside him so that we could get a better run. We're looking for it. Gasly is a little psyched out, as you can see. The AI has an actual gap to the cars ahead. Are we gonna jump him? It's racing is underway again. Here we go. This is definitely, yes, the lunge. Look at that. 3 cars. Incredible. We push a Haas out of the way. It was Kevin Magnussen. I'm sorry, Magnussen. We just went for it. How many cars was that? It was the cars of Pierre Gasly, Alex Albon, and Kevin Magnussen. Pierre Gasly capitalizing on me jumping Alex Albon and also jumping him. So now we have not as hard of a job to do. If we can jump some more. Oh, the classic AI lunge. Not too bad. Can we pull it around the outside on Dan Ticktum? Is that 5 cars in a lap? That's kind of getting to madness levels. We're gonna have to calm down. But it looks like we aren't. We're looking at a move on maybe George Russell. Yes, diving on the inside. A little bit of one of those deep dives, but it worked. It worked and we didn't make contact, so definitely clean, probably, please. Anyway, we are running up onto Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc, look at that differential just drop. The medium tires, it seems they have much less grip and we have much more. Oof, going around the outside even after going off the track there. We probably got a warning, but we didn't extend in our normal place. Yeah, it looks like what we did was we did a little bit of a off track going into T1. Look at that. A move around the outside. Right on. Oh, we thought we had the move on the outside of Lewis Hamilton. Now we're locked. My wheel is in his fuselage. We come unlocked. Hamilton is fighting it. At this point, it feels like everything is coming to a breaking point. I've lost the position to Hamilton. Hamilton's AI is starting to get in my head. It's working. Look at that gap ahead though. We really need to either make the move or stick behind for a little bit, cool down. And oh no, we're making the move. Hamilton is pushing us close to the edge of the track. Look at that. It's just a hair ahead. And we make the move on the inside into T1. It's a little bit slow, but we can still make the run up to Fernando Alonso. Look at that differential drop. We're already in the DRS of Fernando Alonso after, we are having a lot of off-track moments. Thankfully though, the officials don't seem to mind because they're just shook. So we're into 4th position. We've got Alonso, Perez, and Verstappen ahead. Can we bag the win? We have got only a couple laps remaining. Looking at that, it was a little bit of touching going on there, but we made it around the inside of Fernando Alonso, going into the outside of that corner. Perez is just ahead. Will we get the DRS? Here we go. And we do. We're gonna hopefully boost right past him and just go for Verstappen. Go for the win. This could be it. We finally, or possibly finally, made the win on co-op. So, we've got 1.4 seconds to Verstappen. I'm thinking to myself, maybe I should be careful. But no. Well, yes, because we're not catching him that fast. Roughly 2/10 a quarter. Well, I guess that is pretty fast. We're already in the DRS of Max Verstappen. And will we be able to make it into first place? Probably a dive into T1, or are we going to make a dive into the last corner here? Nope. We're going to go for the safe pass as we really rev our engine, downshifting. Here we go. DRS open. Will we go for the move around? Nope, Max is defending it. We're going around the outside. Did we make it? Did we make it stick? We're leaving a lot of room. Max is there. We've made it around him. And there you have it. Into first place in campaign co-op. We made the move into the first couple corners with DRS. And now we just have to hold on to the lead. Max Verstappen is still behind us. He's still within lunging range. 4/10 behind. We don't actually go defensive here. We take the racing line. A little bit slow on the apexes there, but we're doing okay. We actually extend the differential to the Max behind. And it just seems like the soft tires have done it. It gave me that much of an edge on the competition there. It was quite the fight, and the sacrifice was much appreciated by fellow Ferrarimen. The two Ferraris having swapped places, one of them pretty much guaranteeing the other the win with the safety car. Victory! Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you next time.